Hi everyone, I'm here with Jonah Pava, and I am really excited to interview you, Jonah. How's it going?
So far, so good. How are you doing?
Good. Thanks for agreeing to be my next friend in the friend interview series idea that I had. Always excited to interview new people, and yeah, let's dive right into the questions. What is your job?
So, my job that I have been doing up until COVID and everything like that, I worked in three different gyms. I worked at Blink Fitness. I worked as a gym supervisor at Yeshiva University. And I also interned at the 14th Street Y. So, I was kind of all over the place. Um,
Wow,
yeah, and
I didn't
plus
know
school.
that. That's
Things
cool.
are going well. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Um,
That's awesome. So you've done these like gym teacher jobs or gym instructor jobs? Like,
yeah, so more, each gym job was a little bit different. At Yeshiva University, I mostly just dealt with like maintenance stuff. I guess you could say at one point I was sort of top of the line for people they had working there for like who was able to use the gym and whatnot. I had to always make sure people had their IDs or whatever, dress code variations, and I even did like a little exercise class that I taught time to time.
wow.
Did they
So what was the
maybe,
dress code in Yeshiva University? Like they had to wear.
yeah, you'd be surprised about that one. So
Yeah.
you can't go in wearing, in Shabbos clothes. Basically, you have to go in shorts, t-shirts, sweatpants, sneakers, and so on. So,
Did anyone try to come in like a white shirt and black pants?
yeah, you'd be surprised, and they're very surprised when they say, "Oh no, you can't be here."
That is
Uh,
surprising. That's actually hilarious because Yeshiva University, I guess, they have a lot of these like religious type men who only wear
I,
like white shirt and like black
yeah,
pants.
have
They
many gym
that's
attire,
yeah,
basically.
they probably don't even, we're probably never allowed to even wear like gym clothing, you
No,
know, when they grew up, wherever the heck they grew up.
yeah, who knows?
So it's interesting that they try to come into the gym with that clothing.
Yeah, so part of my job was to be the bad guy and have to tell them.
What were the
Um,
what was the conversation? What were like some? Can you give us an example? Like,
well, at first I think I was pretty bad at it. At first I was just like a jerk. Towards the end, I started not really caring, and I just said, "Listen, just so you know, for the next time, just remember we have a dress code. That's about it." Should have
well,
done that from the
that
start.
sounds pretty parv to me.
Pretty harsh.
No,
Oh, just
parv. It sounds pretty not harsh.
oh yeah.
It sounds pretty,
No,
standard.
so that's why I started doing a better job of it towards the end of my career there. Um, but yeah, that was that.
Hmm. Interesting. Wow. So, what do you like about working out?
What do I like about working out? So I guess I'd consider myself a fitness enthusiast. Wouldn't necessarily consider myself a bodybuilder or anything like that, but I enjoy the fact that if you have, like, let's say a lot of aggression or anger, or it's a healthier alternative to take it out than other than, let's say, partying on a Saturday night or something like that. You can use it towards sprinting, weightlifting, or any whole different things. And it's also very good for brain functioning skills as well. So that's one reason why I do it a lot.
Cool. Very nice. Um, I know that you have, or you've told me that you have dyslexia or are dyslexic. I don't know what the
Mhm.
more PC phrase to use
You
is.
can use both.
You
Yeah.
can use both? Okay. So you know a lot better than I do. So,
Yeah.
um, what's that like?
So growing up, it was very difficult. Growing up, it wasn't easy. No one, it's hard to understand. People, I don't think society really understands it to the full length of what it necessarily is. It's many, many different things. It's a variety of different subjects. Personally, for me, the most issue that I have had with it, I think, is with numbers and math. Most people have it in reading and writing, but the area that sticks out to me the most is math. That's where I struggle the most with it. So, like I said before, when I was younger, I would always have to have sort of like an aide there to try and show me what to do and try and instruct me more clearer so I can understand it. But that was very discouraging for me. Obviously, being a young kid in school, you want to be cool, you want to be popular. But because of that, I don't think it necessarily helped out my popularity points too much. Especially, being a younger student and things like that. No one, everybody thought, I don't know, I guess everybody thought more than what it was. That's the right way of putting it. But yeah, mostly they're there to just like sometimes read to me the questions. Sometimes, when I would take a test, they would be there and they would just read to me the questions instead of reading it to myself, more or less. So that's pretty much what it was like. It's interesting. I wouldn't say I got any bullying from it, but I'm sure I felt very judged, and I felt like, I don't know, everyone was sort of out to get me in that sense. But yeah, I can kind of learn from that. Now it's a lot less. Now I don't really need much help. Now I kind of know what works for me, how to go about do it. I do it my way type of thing. I'm in school right now for exercise science, so with my assignments wise, I just have to start it earlier, spend a little bit more time on it, and learn to work around it and try and become the teacher itself. That's really how you understand something, as a professor once told me.
Wow, that's really amazing. It's amazing that
Yeah.
you were able to overcome that. Like, it sounds like you overcame.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you never overcome it. It's always there. You just find ways to cope with it, and you learn to live with it. I think that's the only true outlook one can take with this learning disability.
So what is it like? Like, how can you walk us through a day? Like, how do
Walking
you
through a day.
yeah, like, what is it like?
Sure, I can give you some struggles, I guess. I don't mind
Well, no,
sharing.
no, no. What's it like? Just tell us. Do you mind,
What do you
like, what do
mean?
you do? You wake up, have breakfast. Like, what is it? Like, what is your day like?
Yeah, I go about your day like any other ordinary person. I wake up, I make myself food, but I think the only difference is I think I think about things very thoroughly, and I think I overthink things too. Uh, like, we're a point that nobody like overthink things. I think I'm just always reminding myself, okay, do this, do that, writing down certain steps in my head so I don't forget it. Silly little things like that. Hopefully that helps answer your question on it. There's no real there's no real major differences, except for I get lost a lot going down certain streets and trying to follow GPS directions. But other than that, though, I think everything is pretty much the same thing as everyone else. So, yeah.
Wow, wow. That's
Hopefully that was helpful. Hopefully that was
no,
an answer.
that's very interesting because
Yeah.
can you just tell us like what is dyslexia?
Yeah, dyslexia mostly involves having a hard time with reading. For me, I can read, but it's hard for me to concentrate on something. Like, I'll read 10, 15 pages and I'll feel like, has it been an hour? Oh my God, it's only been 10 minutes. Okay, so like I can do it. It's obviously every single thing can be done, but it's very time-consuming and strenuous, for sure. So let's say they say that a person with dyslexia will will be a lot more tired than the person without it because they're using a lot more brain functioning skills at different levels. Like they're using it at a higher level than they are with most people. So what I mean by that is you just really have to overthink, and you have to be like, you don't want to make silly mistakes because that can be happening. Like for instance, with writing wise, I make silly spelling errors for those of you who know me. But it's something that, like, when I read it in my head, it sounds right, but then when I try and spell it, I can barely do it for the pure life of me. So yeah, there's all these different apps that I could use, but I think a lot of the times it's not a pure laziness where I'm just like, well, they'll either like me or they won't like me based off of my spelling. So
Well,
I'll
just so you know, I gotta say the other day I made a very horrible spelling error, and some people saw it, and it was kind of embarrassing because I am a stickler to these things, about these things, and basically I misspelled lose. I said
what was it? Loot?
it was I said loose instead of lose. I meant to say
Oh, loose.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's LOSE, and I spelled it loose, which is a
Thanks
very
for letting me
common
know how to
spelling
spell it.
mistake. It's silly. It's silly, but I will say that people make mistakes, and it's okay. It doesn't mean that you're
Yeah.
not that you're less likable. It doesn't mean that it doesn't really mean anything. It means that it was either a slip of the mind, or like you weren't or the keyboard was you were typing
Yeah.
fast. Like I used to make spelling errors when I was on Twitter all the freaking time. All
Right.
the time. And people on Twitter make mistakes a lot.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It really isn't. It's not the end of the world. It's not. It really isn't. And it's just how people are. People aren't perfect, and it's okay. It's okay. No, I
Yeah.
don't think there's any person on the planet who's ever been free of grammar or spelling mistakes 100% of the time. And even the way we talk, is not always correct, not always grammatically correct.
Yep.
So language changes, and people aren't perfect. It's static. It's not. Sorry, it's the opposite of static. It's constantly moving. Yeah, dynamic. Yeah. Well, yeah. So school has been a challenge for you.
School's always been a challenge. That's why I think I'm still in school. I guess you can say at a later age. But I'm getting my associate's degree at the end of the month, so that's
Awesome.
a big step.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll have a party to celebrate that one. And yeah, so I'm excited about that, and can't wait to actually be more than halfway done, I guess you could
Great.
say. But I do plan on going on too. I plan on continuing as well. It's going to be definitely a challenge, but I think in this age where everything is unclear at the moment, I think that's honestly the best thing to do right now is just be in school and study something, be as much of a go-getter as you possibly can in the moment. And there's obviously so much we can do right now, so.
Well, that's great. It sounds like you're motivated.
Yeah, you kind of have to be. Yeah.
Wow. Any hobbies besides working out?
Sure. Super into sports. And what else? I'm into exploring different places in New York. So if you have any recommendations, let me know.
What places have you explored so far?
Well, I just got a bike recently, so I'm going to the beach quite a bit, actually. I've been going to Brighton Beach a lot on bike from Crown Heights to there. That's only like 50 minutes, so it's not too bad.
Wow, that's a nice bike ride.
Yeah. basically like a nice little beach house that we have here. Who would have thought? And what else do I enjoy? I enjoy playing video games time to time. Not necessarily the best at it, but still do it nonetheless. Yeah, I enjoy your average everyday thing: music, TV, reading. I listen to audiobooks, I should say. Better way of going about doing it, for me at least. And that's about it. I enjoy hanging out with people. I enjoy helping whoever needs to be helped out. And yeah.
Aw, so nice. Good for you. Any long-term goals?
Well, long-term goals. I hopefully will start a gym physical education program for a bachelor's, and then master's, of course. But that's like a 5-year plan thing. So yeah, we'll be in school for a while, basically, as well as part-time training with clients one-on-one. I'll try and pick up a few more here and there. Potentially could, be a waiter for part-time as well. So that way there I can meet more people for training-wise. Could help sell myself a little bit better. And we'll just go from there. Take it day by day. I think it's kind of what you have to do right now in life, is just take things day by day and see where you were and look at yourself compared to where you were yesterday and see how far you're growing. I think that's a positive way to look at life.
Wow, that's awesome. Do you see yourself in the same, like in Brooklyn in 5 years, or do you see yourself moving?
Honestly, don't know where I'm going to be in 5 years. But so far, Brooklyn has been pretty great and no complaints. So as of right now, we'll see. I mean, I really don't know where I'm going to be in 5 years in terms of living wise. But as of now, things are going smoothly here. So we'll keep on doing smooth sailing over here, I guess, till further notice.
Wow. Awesome. Wow. Well, thanks so much. Any workout recommendations for the
Yeah,
average
for
viewer?
right now, everything's still a little bit shut down more or less in terms of gym wise, but hopefully that will change soon. But I recommend, starting out light with going from calisthenics, doing that for a little bit. So calisthenics meaning, like, let's say you're going to do a 3-round circuit of a thing. You're going to do jumping jacks, squats, and forward lunges. You could do that to start off with, something light in the morning to get your blood flowing, and just really find a routine that sort of works from you. Stick to it. Could be anything from walking, biking. I think sometimes, unfortunately, Instagram and Facebook and social media has put exercising into a certain category where it's all like you either know it or you don't. Get out and stop doing it, which is really, really depressing and really aggravating to some people, because many people want to get into it, but many people don't know how. So I recommend just starting small, finding something that you really like in terms of exercising. Could be a sport, could be a variation type of dance thing, and just stick with that and learn from it and go from there and progress yourself into much more of a variety, and you'll be all set to go, basically.
Wow. I think that's really good advice. Super practical.
Yeah. Don't want to overthink it, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely not. Wow. So who do you follow on Instagram for your workout motivation?
For my workout, well, I actually, when I got certified a few years back, I met one of my close friends now. He worked at Equinox. He was very into it. He did really well. His name is Command Fit Chris. He's pretty cool. It's one of my close friends. I think any mentor needs a mentor. So I use him for guidance, and we do one of the things that I'm working on is I have strength, but I don't necessarily have speed so much. It's something that I never really trained when I was younger. So now I'm working to build that up with him. And so far, so good. So far, no complaints. So it's going very well. So definitely recommend to check him out.
I'm sure he appreciates the mention, like you mentioning it now.
Yeah, no, for sure. But yeah, and I'm also on Instagram, so you can see some of my stuff. I haven't been posting too often, but I'm gonna try to get back into that shortly.
What's your Instagram handle so people can
Yeah,
follow?
I'm called Form and Function 94. So anyone who's looking to get in shape, stay active, give me a look and see what I have to offer.
Nice. Well, that's awesome. Well, good luck with everything. Good luck with your school, and congratulations for, getting this far in spite of your dyslexia. I think that's really amazing. I do. I think it's like very inspiring. It's very, people can look to you as an example. Like, if you can get this far and do all that you do and have dyslexia, then other people can do that. So I think that's really awesome.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah.
Yeah, and actually, I also had, when I was growing up, I had like ADHD. So school was very hard for me too.
Yeah,
So
really,
yeah, it was not easy. I was also very bad at math. But it's funny because I actually love math. I love math. I think math is amazing. I love learning it, but it was hard for me as a kid. So yeah. Well, thanks so much for your time, Jonah.
No problem.
I appreciate it, and feel free to say a final word if you want.
Final word. Oh boy, now I feel like I'm on the spot.
You are.
Everybody stay active, and yeah, don't overstress it. Just be active. Best I can come up with right there.
Nice. All right. Well, thanks again.
All right, no problem.
Okay, I'm lilybeth930@gmail.com. Let me know if you want me to interview you. Anyone else out there watching? This has been another edition of Friends Interview. And have a nice day, everyone.
Talk to you later, Lily.
Bye.
Bye.